Yes. 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 Good afternoon, everyone. It's your girl, MsAnalytical. I haven't done a live, I would say probably about since April. No, I think early May. So this is about 3 months overdue for a live. And I was supposed to do lives like every day. Either do a morning live, an afternoon live, or an evening live. But you know how life goes. It is what it is. So I was only able to do uploaded commentary, not live commentaries. But I'm here with you all. Hopefully you had a great first of the month. And hopefully last month was cool. We're in the summertime. And shout out to Leo gang. This is our season, Leo season. Yes, yes, yes. My birthday is coming up in 14 days. I'm gonna have a live 2 weeks from now because my birthday is on Monday. So it's going to be also a birthday celebration as well as me celebrating reaching 3K in subs. Yes, I know I only have 3K, but I took like 3 breaks since I've had this channel. My first break that I took was I took a break in 2018, which was about like a month or so. Then I took a break the year after that, which was 6 months. Then I took a break after that. I returned just before the pandemic hit, and then I took a break, a small break in between, but not a long hiatus. But then I took a real long hiatus from the end of 2020 up until the summer of 2021. But I've been consistent since November of last year. So I would say I probably took about 5 breaks since I had this channel. So that's a lot of time. So me having only 3,047 subs, I would say for me being a small channel and getting the views that I've gotten has been pretty big. And I want to say shout out to everyone who's been watching my content since I returned last November. To everyone that watched the Gina 2 commentary, I really appreciate it, as well as the others. Every upload live, I appreciate all your viewership and listenership. And also, I want to say thank you to everyone who's given a chance on my reviews. I was supposed to do reviews on this channel when I first started YouTube, but because of working the type of job I've been working, I didn't have the energy to do it. I could only just do lives and commentaries. But I have a review channel, but it's not monetized, and it's really tiny. But shout out to everybody who's watched those um uploads. I believe I have about like 33 uploads on that channel. To people who watch and listen to the Mary J. Blige review of her Good Morning Gorgeous album, thank you. I reached 1K views on that. And I thought the Jocelyn Cabaret review of that reunion was going to be the first one to reach 1K. But it actually surprised 1,000 was the Mary J. Blige. Maybe because of the anniversary of What's the 411. Maybe that's what did it. Because, algorithms were very interesting. And people, it went from 116 views last week to about, now I have 1,015 views. So I want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. But why I'm here talking is because I really want to talk about a couple of things involving current events and just, things I noticed on the YouTube streets. First of all, if you know me, I'm from New York, okay? And so New York, it has been a sanctuary city for the past couple of years. It's been a sanctuary city going back to the Obama era. So a sanctuary city is a city for people who are considered, undocumented. But they have to come from a particular place. You just can't say, "Oh, I'm from, Oman, and I just flew on a plane here to New York, and because I'm documented, I get protection." Not so fast. You got to come from a designated place where you being undocumented gives you the protection to stay here as long as you stay out of trouble. So the countries are practically all Latin American countries. Okay. So a lot of people are very upset over the undocumented thing, and they really hate illegal immigration. But what a lot of people don't understand is that these people that come from Latin America, they're not deemed illegals. It's not like how it was 30 years ago when I was, 9 years old, where that these people were, listed as, oh, you're coming over here to this country illegally. You got to get back, or you better go down to INS and process your papers to where you can get a work visa or something. You just can't get housing. You just can't get luxury. And you better have somebody that you know that can sponsor you. It used to be really legit. You could say what you want to about 41, 42, and even 43. But the immigration process, I felt was more fair. Now you have people coming over and they're brought over here. They're bussed over here. And number 46 don't even tell anyone, oh, I got a busload of immigrants coming over from El Salvador. They gonna come over here Thursday morning around about 12:40. They packing in the shelters. The shelters that's supposed to be for Americans, citizens, residents, they taking over the shelters because they can't be homeless. Now I'm gonna peep game because I'm gonna wrap this story up. The reason why these migrants are here, and I've been saying this for the past 15 years. They're here because they're coming through with the help of the Catholic Church. They're here to save the church. It has nothing to do with helping Biden win the election. This is bigger than Biden. This is bigger than DeSantis. This has to do with saving the church because the money that the Vatican gets that keeps them afloat comes from America. And I know this because I was raised Catholic, so I can tell you this firsthand. Without them, the church crumbles. And since you had white people, Irishes, Italians, I said Irishes, Irish, Italians, Portuguese, they have left the church starting in the 1960s. German Americans, the churches have closed left and right. So they're trying to keep those pews open, including schools. And the only ones they know that's going to be loyal to them is Hispanics and Latin Americans, because Hispanics and Latin Americans are a creation of the Catholic Church. They're not a race, they're an ethnicity. They come out of Catholicism. So they are needed. They need them more than Latin Americans need them. The church needs them more than Latin Americans need them. So without them, the church is done. So that's why they're coming over. It has nothing to do with the election. It's about saving the church, and Biden is Catholic. So this is why a lot of people did not want Biden to be president. They would rather Trump be president because Trump isn't Catholic. So they knew that Trump wasn't going to allow these undocumented to come over. With Obama, it was going on, but not as strong because Obama isn't Catholic. But Biden is, which is why you started seeing the sanctuary cities coming up during Obama's administration. But that was Biden. That wasn't Obama doing that. Counting illegal immigrants, that was Biden. But here's the kicker. When they count undocumented and illegals, they're not counting Africans, Europeans, or Asians unless the countries are Catholic. They're only counting really particularly Latin Americans. That's who they're counting. And they put them in Black American neighborhoods. And that's the problem. And so this is what's going on. So to all the people that have anger over this, you're right. But I'm telling you what it really is. You need to follow and study the church and get out there and protest. That's what you need to do. So that's for starters. Number two, I really want to talk about this whole thing when it comes to, and I'm going to choose this carefully. I want to talk about the whole thing when it comes to Black men being obsessed with homosexuality. Now, I want you to hear me out. I get, going after the whole lifestyle. I actually spoke about my review, seeing Bad Boys Houston, and talking about how some of the things I saw with a lot of men being there auditioning and how many of them are gay. And I'm like, wait a minute, when did Bad Boys become predominantly gay? That was like reserved for like ladies' men. Like now it's like men's men. But I was listening to a program yesterday, and the guest on this program, and the person who hosted it, great YouTuber, Dwan B, great YouTuber. But the person who he had as a guest, who's a regular guest, his name is Dr. Randy Short. And Dr. Randy Short, I've been familiar with him going back to about 2017. But really 2020, during the pandemic, is when he started to like really be around and really give a lot of interviews. But he's been around for decades. And every time he's on different platforms, he always brings up homosexuality. Now, I want to say this. Black men in general, most Black men who are heterosexual don't like it, can't stand it. But they don't have an obsession with it when it comes to talking about it every chance they get. So the program was called The Ballot or the Pussy. And it was a good commentary to a point, meaning that, okay, talking about the whole situation involving monkeypox, talking about things such as that. But at this point, after 3-4 years of listening to this man, and I'm talking about Dr. Randy Short, not Dwan B, I'm like, dude, you are obsessed with homosexuality. You are more obsessed with it than every gay man and woman that I have known in my life. I'm not LGBTQIAWXYZ. I'm not, okay? I have friends who are. I have, well, I had a couple of family members. I have a couple of family members who are. But my thing is this. If you're going to talk about it in a really serious manner. Don't talk about it to sensationalize, to get, a rush and to basically get, a rise up in people. You talk about it every chance you get. You talk about feminists, Black feminists, call them pork chop feminists. You say fat is ugly. You basically try to tell people to stop living the gay lifestyle. You basically talk about this gay sex that you found out that started in London. I never heard of this until yesterday. This gay sex where they basically have pills to go on and on and on and on and on and have gay sex. And that could have been contributing to monkeypox. You talk about AIDS and HIV, House of Virginia, an apartment in Dallas. Okay? You talk about these things, but you talk about it from a biblical standpoint. And I'm going to say something that people may not like. Just because you believe in the Bible doesn't mean the whole world does. What you follow is what you follow. Okay? Don't impose your views on other people because I don't do it. And I don't believe in doing that. Okay? And another thing that I don't like when he does talk at times is that you come on very insulting. Like, for instance, no matter what, you don't have to like what a person does, but you can't tell them to stop doing it. They're going to do it. That's why they have those clinics there for certain groups of people, because they know that they're still going to engage in certain activities. So it's like, okay, we know this is what you like to do. So we're going to provide services for you to keep yourself safe and protected. And let me tell you something about this though. When it comes to houses in Virginia and apartments in Dallas, the past 25 years, the cases have declined. The sale of those houses and those rental apartments have declined. Okay? But if you get my drift, they've declined in their community. It's gone to the straight community. Now, when it comes to bisexuals, yeah, I think that they were the ones that brought it to the straight community. But there were different people that got it. There was people that got it through intravenous needles. There were people that got it because of blood transfusions, babies being born, or babies getting it in the womb of their mother, or breastfeeding. AIDS and HIV wasn't just contracted from homosexual men, because there's a theory that it was a made up disease. You know, if you don't believe me, look up Mary's monkey. But see, this is the thing. These people don't talk about stuff like that. They just focus on the one thing because they're biblical. They are, Christians. They really paleo Christians. So paleo Christians, they really follow the Paulinian doctrine, and they believe in Paul, who was a self-appointed apostle, from what I've read, because I've been reading my Bible a lot, and he was a self-appointed apostle. He didn't know Jesus, anything like that. But to be fair, I just think that when I find people that are obsessively talking about certain things, and I look at it, I'm like, something's not right. So that's all I'm going to say. I'll talk about the topic later on, but that's all. Now, the last thing I will discuss, I'm going to discuss YouTube. There's something about YouTube, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I feel that YouTube, and all of us, is happening. We need to know why YouTube is suppressing the views. 4 years ago, around this time, you could upload a video, an audio about a hot topic, and within one day, depending on how many subs you had, if you had about 700 subs like I had 4 years ago, you would get easily 3,000 in one day. If you had, let's say, 70, you could easily get about 100K, because I've seen it. Why aren't any of us getting views? Something's going on. When I uploaded the Gina 2 commentary, I was shocked that around about 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, that within 1 hour, I literally had 1,001 views. I haven't seen numbers like that since August of 2020. Now in that commentary, I have about like over 6,000. But I was just shocked. Before I went to bed, I had 2.3K views. I woke up, I had 4.2K. I couldn't believe it. That was a hot topic, but the algorithm just went through. But why is it suppressing others? And it's happening to every single person on YouTube except for PewDiePie. So what's going on? And one of my peoples from YouTube, shout out to Pharaoh Speaks. I had did a commentary because I had blamed Tasha K for it, and he said it wasn't Tasha K that caused it, but with the Tasha K situation, and once the whole thing basically happened with the verdict, it made it worse. And then I went back to my videos and I stopped, well, uploads, where I stopped when verdict was read. And I said, brother, you're right. Because once that hit, I noticed that it basically started to where we weren't getting views. And so I'm going to wrap up here. I've been on here for 20 minutes, and I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. I appreciate your viewership, listenership, and enjoy the rest of your day. Later.